A tough focus at this hour. Court in Dominica will be deciding the fate of fugitive Mehul Choksi today at 6:30 p.m. over his extradition to India. The Indian authorities said they have gathered documents including his Aadhaar, PAN and ration card to prove that the businessman never really gave up Indian citizenship.
It's the great Caribbean chase. India's hunt for fraudster Mehul Choksi rests on what the Dominican Court will decide on Wednesday. Currently in jail for allegedly illegally entering Dominica, the fugitive Diamond Heir will be produced in court at around 6:30 p.m. India time. The Dominican Court will decide whether Choksi, wanted in the 13,000 crore PNB fraud, will be deported to India or will he be sent back to Antigua? Sources tell India Today that the Enforcement Directorate will file an application before the Dominican Court, detailing Choksi's crime and the grounds for his deportation. India is to prove that Choksi is an Indian citizen who never completed the formalities and paperwork to surrender his Indian citizenship while taking the citizenship of Antigua. To support the claims, Indian authorities have gathered documents including Choksi's Aadhaar, PAN, ration cards, which show that he is still an active Indian citizen. The documents will be submitted before the Dominican Court. Sources say that if court permits, the Enforcement Directorate will file this application to convince the court that the man in their custody is a wanted, accused since January 2018. And based on the red corner notice by Interpol, he should be deported back to India immediately. The ED officials are also trying to ensure that Choksi's case in Dominica should not get stuck in legalities, else it will be a long wait for India. Choksi, who now carries an Antiguan passport, disappeared mysteriously on May 23rd from Antigua. It is suspected that Choksi went on a romantic getaway with his girlfriend. His lawyer alleges that he was abducted and taken to Dominica as part of a conspiracy. Now all eyes are on the Dominican Court. Will India get hold of the fraudster who has been evading the law for 3 years? With Munish Pandey in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, a Foreign Affairs editor, Geeta Mohan, is getting us more details on that story. Geeta, India's case depends heavily on whether Choksi is going to be in a position to prove in court that he indeed is a citizen of Antigua and that he gave up his Indian citizenship, isn't it?
Well, absolutely, Sneha. We are looking at the Indian team, a battery of senior officials who have been handling things from the CBI, ED front. Munish Pandey has been getting us all those details. They are all of them trying to prove one thing, that he is indeed an Indian citizen, continues to be one. Why? Because he did not relinquish his citizenship completely. He did not complete the process of relinquishing his citizenship of India. And if the Dominican Court is convinced that there is still some discrepancy in the paperwork that was to be carried out by Mehul Choksi, he could very well be in trouble. The Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, in the latest statement, spoke of the letter he wrote in 2019 proposing that Mehul Choksi's citizenship be revoked, given that he falsified documents, was not truthful in acquiring that citizenship. But that has been challenged in court. And the very same letter can be now used by the Choksi team, Sneha, where they say that a Prime Minister can only seek revocation of citizenship if citizenship was accorded. And if citizenship was accorded, if he was an Antiguan by nationality, then India does not allow dual citizenship. So it's going to be a really interesting proceeding that will start in about 2 hours from now. And we will have our reporters from the ground, from the court, as also from the hospital where Choksi is, just to get you an update and a sense of how things are. Remember, Sneha, when the matter went to court, after Choksi was found in Dominica and the lawyers were not given access, they've taken the matter to court. The court placed a gag order on the lawyers, and that's the reason why we've not heard from the lawyers ever since that gag order has been placed. We're given to understand that today that gag order will also be lifted. So there'll be a lot more trickling in terms of what really happened in court, what really happened behind the scenes. The proceedings are going to be very interesting. We do not really know whether it's going to be an in-camera proceeding or whether if journalists would be allowed inside. Recording certainly is not allowed, but if journalists would be allowed inside. And if so, then there will be more details coming in terms of the kind of arguments that each side puts forth. But India's contention certainly is going to be that he continues to be an Indian citizen.
All right, Geeta, thanks for getting us those details. Geeta, Mohan, with that story, we'll of course keep coming back to you for more on that, Geeta. Meanwhile, India today has accessed the details of the top team, including CBI officials, which will get Choksi back to Delhi, if all works according to the plan, that is. The team is headed by CBI officer Sharda Raut, who is the investigative officer in the Punjab National Bank scam case. The team comprises of 8 members. Sources say if the Dominican Court orders deportation of Mehul Choksi, then he will be brought to Delhi in a private jet by an 8-member team to Delhi. Choksi is going to be placed under arrest by Sharda Raut once they land on Indian soil. ED's affidavit will also be filed before the Dominican Court this evening with the details of his criminal activities. The affidavit will make it clear that Choksi is a wanted Indian citizen and detail the grounds on which he should be deported to India. Well, the grounds that India is contesting this case on, saying that there is a red corner notice against Mehul Choksi, who continues to hold an Indian passport. Choksi's argument is that he is not an Indian citizen. There could be quite a few, in fact, legal challenges also before India, in fact, as far as Mehul Choksi's case is concerned. We'll take a look at that. So what are the legal challenges then for India? Abduction claim being made by Choksi's team. Injury marks on Choksi. These are pictures doing the rounds. Choksi's Antiguan citizenship, that he's claiming that I'm not a citizen of India, I'm a citizen of Antigua and then I should be sent back to my home country. Choksi surrendered Indian passport. That's his contention. It remains to be seen what India says, in fact, in terms of establishing the fact that he indeed holds Indian citizenship even now. Meanwhile, India today has accessed a scathing letter written by the Antiguan Prime Minister Gaston Brown to fugitive Mehul Choksi on the 14th of October 2019. The Prime Minister in the letter had said that Choksi's Antiguan citizenship should be revoked on grounds of willful concealment and false representation of facts. In the latest statement, Brown had said he stands by his request for Dominica to extradite Choksi directly back to India, where he is still a citizen. He further accuses Choksi of hiring a lawyer from the opposition party in lieu of campaign funding. He's also said that Choksi's deportation can't be negated by his alleged abduction theory. Let me now go across to my colleague Pooja Shali, who is going to be explaining why Choksi's citizenship is a big point of contention in this case.
So, Indian law on citizenship, what does it state? Let me give you the details now. India does not allow dual citizenship. This will be very important because the government of India will say that they have all the important documents of identification from passport and Aadhaar and others to prove he is an Indian citizen. So what the law states will be very important. Also, Choksi cannot be citizen of Antigua in India is basically what it means if you cannot be a dual citizen. Anyone with foreign citizenship loses Indian citizenship. Again, that you can either have one. What it specifically means is, as per the law of Government of India, Choksi is an Antiguan citizen now. So, and that decision will have to also be taken.
All right, there is no end to Mehul Choksi's sordid Caribbean saga. The fugitive scamster has now been accused of bribing Dominica opposition leader Lennox Linton to prevent his extradition to India. After reports of a mystery woman linked to Choksi, the runaway diamond merchant is now being accused of paying his way to avoid extradition. A Dominica media report claimed that Linton met Choksi's brother for 2 hours at his personal residence in Marigot. The meeting was allegedly aimed at Dominica opposition leader helping Choksi to evade extradition to India in exchange of a bribe. The Dominica opposition leader has, however, rubbished the media report of any private meeting with the fugitive's brother, Chetan Choksi. Linton said he did not meet Choksi's brother at his Marigot residence and his house was destroyed in 2017 hurricane. Earlier, Antiguan Prime Minister had also accused Choksi of paying bribes to the opposition in Antigua to help him evade extradition to India.
I do not know Chetan Choksi. I have never seen him. I have never spoken to him. I have never met with him. The article says I met with him on the 30th of May in Marigot. I was not in Marigot on the 30th of May. I was in Marigot on the 29th of May, where I attended a public meeting of the United Workers' Party at which we dealt with, among other things, the Mehul Choksi saga. I have never, ever received any money from Chetan Choksi or anyone else for favors or to do or not to do anything or to promise to do or not to do anything. This is a total and absolute lie.
What is happening here, is that they are literally defending the campaign money. So here's a situation in which Choksi had the best law firm representing him. He had what's his name there? The law Dorset and Watt, Sir Gerald Watt and Dr. Dorset.
Yes, David
Their
Dorset.
law firm defending him, doing a good job. In fact, they're the ones who moved quickly and really avoided the revocation of his citizenship and tied up everything in court. But some UPP individuals befriended him, started to take money from him, small contributions, and he promised them big contributions since they told him that they will get their UPP lawyers to get him off the hook, and that if they win the next general elections, that they will protect him.
And there's a lot of mystery surrounding Choksi's trip to Dominica, and at the center of this mystery is one woman. The Antiguan Prime Minister claimed that this woman is Choksi's girlfriend, who he took on a romantic getaway. The diamond merchant's lawyer has said the woman was part of an elaborate conspiracy to abduct Choksi and take him out of Antigua. Geeta, Mohan and Munish Pandey get us this report.
A pleasure trip with his girlfriend on a yacht, lured by a woman and then abducted to Dominica, or escape to Cuba gone horribly wrong. Mehul Choksi missing from the Caribbean nation Antigua and surfacing in Dominican custody 2 days later. Replete with multiple unanswered questions, claims and counters. India today has learned that Choksi was indeed with a girl when he landed in Dominica and that it appears to be a case of being honey-trapped. Sources say the woman was staying in Antigua and sometime back started meeting Mehul Choksi during his morning and evening walks. She also befriended him and later on May the 23rd called him to an apartment to meet her. But when Choksi reached the apartment, many people were already there who allegedly abducted, kidnapped and took Mehul Choksi to Dominica, where he was arrested. Choksi's lawyers, however, say the girl was part of the team which was involved in the alleged abduction and torture of Choksi.
एक महिला थी जो उनके पड़ोस में आके रहती थी और फिर उन्होंने शिफ्ट कर लिया था, तो उनकी फैमिली में भी आना जाना था। इवनिंग में वॉक पे मिल जाते थे दोनों आपस में। तो जो है इन्होंने वो लेडी पहले शिफ्ट हुई थी और जो पूरा पता चल रहा है कि वो भी इस ऑपरेशन का हिस्सा थी। तो इनको ट्रैप करने के लिए वो लेडी को सीड किया गया था।
The revelation comes days after Antiguan Prime Minister Gaston Brown claimed that Mehul Choksi had fled to Dominica on a romantic trip with his girlfriend.
The information that we're getting now is that he may have taken his girlfriend to Dominica, probably to dinner to have a good time and so on, and got caught. Now, that would have been a monumental error.
Choksi may also have used forged papers to escape Antigua with his girlfriend. India Today spoke to the travel firm believed to have ferried him to Antigua. The firm under fire now claims it never transported Choksi or his girlfriend.
Based on the photos that are circulating, I did not see anybody of that look on this particular boat, or not the boat or anybody that we did clearances for. Nevertheless, this boat that came in did not have any woman on board.
Choksi's Caribbean caper is no less than a Bollywood thriller. Did the star fraudster himself fall victim to an elaborate fraud, or staged an elaborate stunt to hoodwink India once again? With Geeta, Mohan in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, so who is Mehul Choksi? He's wanted in India in connection with the 13,500 crore rupee Punjab National loan scam. He fled to the US, remember, as soon as investigations began. I'm going to go across to my colleagues who are joining us more on that story. Let me just get a sense of who my colleagues are. All right, Gail is joining us from Dominica for more details on that story. Gail, the hearing is at 6:30 p.m. This is India time. Give us an idea about the kind of arguments that have been in fact readied now by Team Choksi to then escape either deportation or extradition to India. We'll go across to my colleagues. In fact, I have Gail joining us from Dominica. We'll be also having Geeta Mohan, our Foreign Affairs Editor, as well as Kalai also would be joining us for more details on that story. But this has got to do with the hearing in the case of Mehul Choksi. The question really is whether India's hunt for Choksi and the effort to bring him back to the country, is that process going to be completed today, or will India's wait just get longer from here on? We're getting you details of that in a bit from now. For the moment, it's time for a quick break here.